And 3, 2, 1, and we're live.
But I wanted to switch into something that was more sustainable, which would be food. And when I was working at IGA, I would always say to the managers or the head office there, which would be HY Louis on that point, and I would say, like, why aren't we dealing with local farmers? We have everything around us. We have all these places, and it all came down to subsidy checks. So if they deal with Dairyland, and Dairyland's their only big distributor that they get in, if they abide by that, at the end of the year, they get a big subsidy check, right? So bigger corporations are able to offer bonuses if you only carry my product and this, which really kills the whole market of being able to support local farmers. It costs me probably about 40% more to buy a cow that is raised in Chilliwack or Agassiz, that is raised well, that has room to run around outside. It costs me about 40% more than to buy beef that's killed in a kill floor, right? From the States or from Uruguay or from Mexico, right? And that's what a lot of grocery stores end up doing nowadays too, is they have people that specialize in buying. And that's what they do, is their only job is, where can I get the best deals? Where can I get the specials? So when you're getting specials of strip loins or this or that, and they're super low in price, right? Well, they have to buy skids and skids. Where are they getting it from? Right? And one of the biggest things that really bugs me about our country in that is that we don't have to really state the origin of the product, right? They've come into, like, they've been trying to do rules about that and get it in place, and they had it for a little bit, but nothing was like really enforced on that. So you can get product, and I know this because I used to work on a cutting line, and I'll get to that when I first started. And it would be the same thing. You open a package, it goes through a tenderizer, and then it goes through an acid wash to kill any bacteria, and then it gets cut on the line, and then it keeps going. So you can have product that comes in from anywhere, and you just put a little Canadian sticker on it, and people see that Canadian flag and they think instantly Canadian product. And in the fine print on there, it will say something like cut in Canada or packaged in Canada. Same with toys that we get, like boatloads of toys from China, and then all of the stickers say packaged in Canada. So people just look for that little Canadian flag and they think, okay, now this is a good product. So when you're dealing with that, now you're dealing with a price disadvantage. I can buy pork at half the price than buying it from a good, wholesome farmer in Abbotsford. I can buy it half the price from the States, and you can get it more often and stuff too, right? So you get like these big pork loins and stuff. It's like, oh, you can get that for $20. So it all comes down to, what are you looking for, quantity or quality, right? And that's for me is a huge thing.
Yeah, but you had that idea so
Yeah.
so far before. Like, now, anybody listening to this has probably heard no GMO,
Yeah.
no antibiotics. These types
Yeah.
of things are so commonplace now.
Yeah.
But you started this before it was popular, before it was something that everybody knew about.
Yeah.
So what was that educating people like so early on, when everyone's like, well, Walmart's the same as this, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, that was probably the mindset when you started.
Yeah, that was an incredibly tough time in my life. That was August of 2008 when we started the business. That was a month before the economy crashed, which now you're introducing a higher end product where you can't get specials, because when you go to your farmer, you're like, okay, what price do you need for me to buy that beef or that lamb or that chicken, right? So you don't get deals where you can say, okay, now I'm doing a special on this product. And when you get one beef, you only get 2 full strip loins. You don't get cases where you can like do specials and move them. So being at a grocery store, I found that in the meat department, they would have 50% of their sales would be their lost leader items. So they would put specials to get people in there, and they would be losing money on those specials. So they have these prices so low, but then they have everything else to compensate, for like chips and pop and things like that. When you start off a butcher shop, you don't have all those little things to keep you going. So now that challenge was there. So I did a lot of research, and I wanted product that was local, natural, hormone free, which at the time people thought it was a car salesman pitch, that it was, a lot of people have the mentality that everything in Canada is local, natural, hormone free. Well, it's not true. Like, and if people did more research on that, they would understand. Any feedlot that you have, you can have They can have chips in the ears, which release certain things which increase the hormones in animal, which make them bigger. You can have growth hormones or antibiotics in the feed, which is happens a lot in places, especially when you look at like these big like chicken farms and stuff where they you know, some chickens, when you've seen videos on it where chickens are dead for like a couple days, well, why do all the other ones not get sick? Is because they're jammed with so many antibiotics. And what's happening is that we now are consuming that in fast food restaurants or in big bulk buying, right? Where you can get like a box of, you know, 20 kilograms of chicken breast for $40, right? And stuff like that. And the problem with that is now we are ingesting so many antibiotics. So you wonder why like kids are maturing so fast with the growth hormones. Growth hormones are a huge catalyst of cancer as well, right? So when you look at the cancer rates and stuff that people are going through, those are all attributes to what we are eating and what we are consuming, right? When you look at a beef that's raised out just in the field and then, you know, finished off with grain, you're getting something that's like 600 to 800 pounds. It's not going to be the same breed that is going to be 12 to 1400 pounds, right? So there's a difference on how much product you're getting from it. But it also is the reason why I believe we're getting these super bugs. Like I'm not talking about COVID on that. I'm talking about like the flu and the cold, which used to only last like a day. Right. And now all of a sudden someone's out for a week, right? Or these colds that hit people so hard that you feel it in your joints and everything else. And it's because these things have to change, right? Because now they're not being able to attach to you because every body is like so filled with antibiotics from what we're consuming that now they're morphing or mutating, right? So
yeah, this has been a common problem amongst like a bunch of different industries, including the plastic industry, because they found plastic in our bodies as well in different levels just from putting stuff in a plastic container.
Yeah.
And I think we're really waking up to the realities of food is everything you are almost. Like that's what makes you. If you've eaten McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you are McDonald's. Like you are the grease that's in that. You are the meat that's in that, and all those questionable things.
And the stuff in the bread too.
Exactly.
Right? Like the
because
buns.
It's mostly sugar.
Yeah.
And I think in another country, they recently just said Subway can no longer advertise and say that it's bread because it's so much sugar.
Yeah.
And I think that that's society really waking up to the impact that food can have on us and the role that it plays in our development.